You're bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. Give me life cause I'm coming out the shade. Give me life cause this girl don't need Joe J. I'm your sister, not some random trade. So give me life back. Give me life back. Give me life cause I'm coming out the shade. Give me life cause this girl don't need Joe J. I'm your sister, not some random trade. So give me life back. Give me life back. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. Don't fuck with me. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Miss your tune is ugly. You just a mugging me. Your spirit vexes me. You trying to hex me, B? So get up and leave. You hate your own with ease. Just buzzing around like bees. Been poisoned by your queen. This ain't the field of dreams. You wasn't built to come for me. We don't need your company. Some things ain't meant to be. So be gone, you flee before I set this goddess free. Don't make me set this goddess free. Make me set the goddess free. Not here for the fuckery. Bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. Don't fuck with me. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Give me life cause I'm coming out the shade. Give me life cause this girl don't need your jade. I'm your sister, not some random trade. So give me life vibe. Give me life vibe. Give me life cause I'm coming out the shade. Give me life cause this girl don't need your jade. I'm your sister, not some random trade. So give me life vibe. Give me life vibe. Not here for the fuckery. You're bugging me. Not here for the fuckery. I'm not here for the fuckery. Not here for the fuckery. I call her a goddess and she hears my prayer like. I call her a goddess and she hears my prayer like. I call her a goddess and she hears my prayer like yeah. I call. Oh. She put you on freeze, she put you on freeze, she get you off of me, she get you off of me, and I say blessed be, and I say blessed be, and I say blessed, 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 blessed be. Not here for the fuckery, you bugging me. Not here for the fuckery, you bugging me. Not here for the fuckery, you bugging me. Not here for the fuckery, don't fuck with me. Won't you tip on through, huh? Won't you tip on through? Tip on through, tip on through, tip on through. Tip on through, Louisiana. Tip on through, New York. Tip on through, all in the Bronx. Tip on through, tip on through, tip on through. No, tip on through. Look and I'm judged, calling us freaks, pitting against neighbors, forced to compete. Some would say I was never a girl, made me the enemy. Something to scold. This world can be cold. How many haters can one nation hold? My head is swiveling around. Beware of your enemies. There's condemners and bashers of plenty, false prophets and bigots galore. You want closet queens? Well, I know about 20. Too few care. What's the big deal about living on the shore? I wanna go where those merfolk are. I wanna see 'em diving, swimming around on those, what do you call them, fins? Flipping my fins with the speed of a car. A tail is required for haste in water. Moving around down that stream, down in the deep, that's where they thrive. I could breathe here, but that's where my heart lies. Beneath the sea, wish I could be part of that world. Down in the deep, that's where they thrive. I could breathe here, but that's where my heart lies. I don't went somewhere else, okay. But anyway, getting back to the topic of the down in the deep. Let me stop. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now. I'm done now. One more time. Down in the deep. You can tell I did a piece of weed. But I want to talk about this while it's on my heart. But before I do, I want to hit Be Nasty. Because this was actually inspired by when I first came back from Africa, right? I got into it with my roommate. It was this dude, he was black. And he had a Hispanic girlfriend and they was living together. And the apartment was so nasty. Like, it was real nasty. Like, I'm talking about nasty. And I had been gone for months. And so I was in a living situation where you couldn't choose your roommate. You know, it was free housing and you were sharing housing with somebody there. So the program that I was on, I don't know if they call it was beyond RSO or SRO. It wasn't that, it was the next phase. You know, and if you're from New York and you're familiar with the HASA program, you know what it was given. So when I came back, I was living in housing with this person and they had a partner there. And I mean, the house was just real, real, real nasty. And he had the audacity to be prejudiced towards me because of, my narrative and how I show up in the world. Like, it made him uncomfortable and I was uncomfortable because the house was nasty. So we had got into an argument one night because I was using their teapot. I asked the girlfriend could I use the teapot. She was cool with it. I had scalded the little teapot out because they had two of them, and so I was using one of them. And then, in hindsight, I probably should have went and bought my own damn teapot. Looking back on it, but I didn't buy my own teapot. I was using their teapot. And I feel like it was an even exchange because, I'm not reading y'all about how nasty this motherfucking house is. Just let me use your teapot so I can make, because I like to put my little herbs in my teapot. That's what I'm actually drinking now. This is a blend of different herbs that I made last night with ginger. So anybody who really, really close with me know I love tea, and especially during this time of year. And so when I came back, it was still cool. Well, it wasn't cold. It was because I came back in September, but it was starting to get cold. So in New York, it had started getting cold. And I was using their teapot, because I hadn't been on my meds the whole 9 months that I was gone, and so it was COVID and all that. So my tea was very important to me, and I ain't have no extra money, so I was really trying to be tight with my coins, and yeah, but hindsight, I could have went and bought a damn teapot. But we ended up getting into a big ass argument because I was living in this nasty house and making the best of the situation, and then you gonna take your teapot from me. I had to have oh, thank you, Lord Dixon X. Um, I had to I had to eat it, but eventually I got out of the apartment. So I didn't end up staying there. But this song came out of it, so that's the song I'm about to share. Wait a minute, hold on. I just had it. But it's called Be Nasty in this bitch, so I'm letting y'all know it's about to give. Bitch, be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty in this bitch. You got to be nasty. Be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty. But I think I took it. Like, I never did officially release it. And what I like about this song is I took it and turned a negative situation. Because let's be clear, when you hear me saying be nasty in this bitch, I was literally saying that in the apartment, like when we was arguing. And one of my friends who I was making music with at the time took the sound off of me arguing in my house. Like I was walking around my house. I was walking around the apartment saying,
let's be nasty in this bitch. And I'm gonna throw that shit outside. Like I was in my feelings and we were screaming and hollering at each other and he was saying stuff to me. So when you hear me saying be nasty in this bitch, I didn't make that for the song. This is how the song was birthed. I was on live screaming and hollering, talking about something well, let's be nasty in this bitch. And so I got an opportunity to take the pain from that moment and turn it into something that could be, like art. Like art came up out of it because then I went to telling a story that was bigger than me, but it was birthed from conflict. It was birthed from pain, but then it was able to evolve into a greater message. Yes, I was. Yes, I was, man. It's
Destroy something. Government 19
It's gonna be loud up in here. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud up in here. And that's what I was saying. It's gonna be loud up in here. Be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty in this bitch.
Be nasty in this bitch. Be nasty in this bitch. I want a little something. Go for the big stuff.
Be nasty in this bitch.
Be nasty in this bitch.
And I'm throwing that shit outside. And I'm throwing that shit outside. And I'm throwing that shit outside. And I said this too. You ain't better than me. You ain't more than me. You ain't better than me. You ain't more than me. You ain't better than me. You ain't more than me. Trying to get your space, but you want this beat. You ain't ready for this dragon, girl, have the receipt.
With bricks on production.
Couldn't even spin over the beast. Known for leaving crowds in disbelief.
Steady dropping
Jewel little nuggets and treats.
Yet you reckless
With my name, I already got teeth.
Never play fair.
Always won't cheat. Think I want your food, you don't eat what I eat. Steady dropping lines, think I won't receive.
Every fuck
I gave was buried at sea. You slaving to the industry, but you better than me.
you calling me a freak,
But you ain't better than me. You ain't disturbing my peace.
you ain't causing me grief.
Better step off.
So I fire release.
You want that smoke summer, baby's got heat. You got one more time and I'ma press delete.
Be nasty in this bitch.
I said what I said.
What I said, and I meant be nasty in this bitch.
And I'm throwing that shit outside.
I ain't come be nasty in this bitch.
I came to tear it down. Sexism, patriarchy, transphobia, homophobia. You ain't better than me. You ain't more than me. Baby, when I tell you that song right there, like that's the perfect balance of wholeness. Like, and I'm learning that my balance of wholeness and what wholeness looks like for me and what wholeness does for me is it allows me to be angry. It allows me to be upset, but to turn that pain, to turn that conflict, to turn that struggle into something that can bless somebody else. And it doesn't have to be cookie cutter because my life is not cookie cutter. My journey is not a cookie cutter journey. Everybody's journey is not a cookie cutter journey. So my art speaks to a certain demographic of people, and I'm just happy to be in that place. I'm happy to be in a place where I feel like I don't have to put my mouth on everything, because it just baffles me when I hear people use the term cloud chaser, or when I hear people who are always on the internet who are always talking about other people's business using terms like cloud chaser or using terms like narcissistic. Like, it's hard not to be on the internet a lot and not chase clout at some point. You're on the internet all the time. You're on the internet all the time. If you constantly having to put your name on somebody else every time you go live, you put your name on somebody else. You can't call nobody a clout chaser. Like literally, we all like anybody who on here who put in their mouth. Like there's times when I could be considered a clout chaser. It could be said about me. People could literally say she a clout chaser. Do I feel like I'm a clout chaser? No. I feel like when I want to speak on something, I'm gonna speak on something. I try to be thoughtful. I try not to come off as a bona fide hater. But if I'm consuming your content and I'm triggered by what you say and I choose to speak on you, you know what I'm saying, then it is what it is. But I'm not just gonna speak on you for clicks and views or clicks and likes because your name is popular. Like I'm speaking on you because it's something that you said that impacted me or affected me. I'm not just talking about you just to talk about you because you popular. Like I felt a way about something you said as a public individual, and it could be a positive thing. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Every time I speak on people, it's not just me speaking on them negatively. Although most times that's really what draws me to go live and to do a whole video. I'll probably leave a comment in your comment section if you said something that I agree with or something that I liked. But most times, if I'm holding myself accountable, I do go live when somebody done plucked my nerves. Whether it's to defend the person that was getting talked about, or whether it's to say some shit about the person that was talking about the person that I like. So I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and pretend like I've never interjected myself into some shit that didn't have nothing to do with me. You know, but at the end of the day, can we really say it doesn't have anything to do with you when the content is being put out for us to consume? So, like, if you're a public figure and you're putting out content and it's coming down my feed and I gotta see you and I gotta be exposed to you, because the algorithm is pushing you in my face, then if I speak on you, I'm because I don't want that negative energy around me all the time. Because I believe in positive and negative energy, but because I don't want to live in the negative, like I don't mind, going out to eat over there. Maybe having a little weekend camp out over there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe taking a vacation in negativity. I could do a little negativity. Cut my sandwich in half negativity, half positivity. Maybe an extra slice of positive, but we still gonna eat that greasy pork chop, just not all the time. So yeah, I don't need all positive vibes. I could do some negativity. I just don't want to live there. I don't want every moment of every day of my life. And this is the gag. We all have different levels of what positivity and what negativity look like to us. Some people, could get joy from things that other people will look at and be like, this is so destructive, this is so chaotic, this is wicked. So you have to understand, in order to name positivity and in order to name negativity, you have to be around people whose views align with yours, because there is no absolute way to look at what's negative, and there is no absolute way to see what's positive, because literally what's negative for me could bring the person next to me delight, and what's positive for me could bring the person next to me, it could make them want to throw up in their mouth. That's why people say don't yuck my yum. Yeah, that's why people literally say don't yuck my yum, because what gives me joy, what really gives me life, what really just do it for me may not do it for you. I've always thought this, like, even when there has not been a being, and I said this over 10 years ago, there has not been a being that has walked this planet that has been unanimously agreed upon by everything on the planet to be perfection. We have never had a being to walk this earth and be unanimously agreed upon as ideal. We are human algorithms. We are human algorithms. And if you align with the status quo, in order for your algorithm to be pushed forth, in order for you to become a mainstream figure, you have to assimilate and become what the status quo is pushing. If the status quo can't get behind your brain, your algorithm is not going to be pushed. So you gotta get whatever the status quo want to use you for, because the status quo have all different characters that they need for this production in the Matrix. And I think the reason why I've never, been on the promoted algorithm, like I've never been, where I could be in the algorithm, is because I think for me, I was supposed to accept a role of either preaching a patriarchal religion, which is me worshiping the Father 24/7, or I was supposed to be the clown, either the clown, the sex worker, like always doing twerking videos, always being ratchet, like really got my teeth straight and give you the lace front wigs, like a Sydney star. You know what I'm saying? Just always over sexualizing myself. Like I could have did that. I could have been the preacher, or I could have been just the one that was always cracking jokes, just the one that was always trying to be funny. And because I couldn't get on that algorithm and stay there because there's so many more layers to me, and I couldn't suppress them in order to become that entity that the algorithm would push. Because the algorithm don't like for you to be too complex. The algorithm wants you to play your part and be consistent with that. You can't be all over the place. You can't be moving around like air and water and think the algorithm about to promote you, because the status quo not gonna get behind that, because if they push you, then you could get too much power, because people really are seeing your wholeness. They want to suppress all of that other stuff so that when they get mad at you, they could take all of that other stuff and use it against you. And the way that I've been branding myself is that I've put out positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative. With the algorithm, either you got to be mostly negative or you got to be mostly positive. And if you notice, those are the type of people who get pushed. It be the overly righteous people, or it be the really messy people. But you can't really fall in the middle with the algorithm. You got to be either messy, or you got to be a goody two shoe. Pay attention to how our society is set up, and that is another example of the binary. You can't fall in the middle, because that's too complicated. That's too complicated of an algorithm, and you don't want everyone to be complicated. You don't want everyone to be free thinkers. Yeah, yeah, the extremes make for great TV. And because even when you're over righteous, it can be funny because you come off as so arrogant and so self-righteous. It's almost like you want to ask them, do you hear yourself talking? Do you, are you hearing the same thing I'm hearing? And then like with people who have like this really, really dark personality, you know, and I like I said, I could eat the greasy pork chop, but I'm just not fixing it. I can't live in either place. I can't be, I can't be goody goody gumdrops all the time. I can't be perfect patty. I can't be, you know, I can't do that. I can't live on that frequency. And I also can't live on, bitch, I said what I said. And bitch, I beat your asshole. And da da da. I can't live on either one of those. Both of them for my mental health. I can't be neither one of them for you. Every now and then I can give you a little bit of absolutely sure. Oh, yes, that's wonderful. Oh, that's such a blessing. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's so good. I'm so happy to see you. I could give you that, but it have to be, it have to be in the mood. And even the bitch, what the fuck happened, ho? Because the bitch you don't know me, ho. I can't live on either frequency. And there's a lot of people, we always talking about how different people are, but part of the programming is for people not to be that different. We are being programmed. And let's be clear, the content that I put out, um, is me decolonizing my mind and programming my own self. That's what I've been doing, and I share so that other people, can see an example of how to decolonize your mind. But I sit at the tables with the colonizers, and because I need to be represented in this matrix, but at the same time I'm still doing that work of, decolonizing my own headspace. And that's what made me want to, do this video, to really like kind of touch on that, because my relationship has changed with my biological family. Um, I am in a good space with both of my fathers right now. I'm in a good space with my mother. I have so many community mothers. I have Mama Snow. I have Mama Gina. I have my trans mother, Mama Didi. And I have really good relationships with, my mother's side of the family. Like I have some strong relationships there. And I have some strong relationships on my father's side of the family. Not a lot of people. I'm not going to sit up here and make it look like everybody loves me, because that's not the case. It's a lot of issues, it's a lot of challenges, but I am doing the work. I'm consistently doing the work. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, the difference would have been that I was really, really invested in my relationships in the trans community, in the LGBT community, in the queer community. I was super invested in that because, there was a period I went through in which I was shunned by my biological family, in which I felt, I didn't really have a relationship with this side of the family that I'm with now. My daddy, my biological father came back into my life when I was like 37, right before I got ready to have my sex change. And so I'm making up for lost time. But and I didn't have a super close relationship with my mom and my sisters in my 20s. So that was like an awkward phase for me with them. So I focused on my relationship with the LGBT community, with my queer sisters, with my trans siblings, and and my trans daughters, and I gave so much to those relationships, but I realize it's important to have balance, because I see a lot of trans people who do not have healthy relationships with their birth family. you know, with their biological family, and that was a concern for me. I didn't want that to be my narrative. Um, my whole spirituality is about honoring the mother and the father, honoring the mother and the father, whether it's spiritual, honoring the mother and father, whether it's physical. And I think in order to have that mindset of worshiping and honoring and loving the mother and the father within yourself, you have to at least attempt to have decent relationships with both your mother and father. And so I've been seeing my growth when it comes to my relationship with my father, seeing my growth with my relationship with my other father, who's always been there for me. Seeing my growth with because me and my father, who's always been there for me, me and him, who we, it was rough for him when I got the sex change. It was rough. It was really rough for him. He struggled with that. He thought it was a phase. He couldn't believe anyone who was born with a penis, who life he had been in, would choose, to embrace the path of the foremothers. So he struggled with it. He just didn't understand it. Why would you, like, you got this great example of manhood, because I'm an alpha man and I'm strong and everybody respect me and everybody love me. Why wouldn't you want to be like me? Why would you want to be like the women? And he still struggles with that. He still struggles with that. He still struggles with that to this day. It's like a little slap in the face, but he loved me though. He loved me. Um, and my I know he'll do anything for me. And my mom, we have she been got over. She always knew, you know. She always knew it. She started calling me I want to say, um, in my early 30s. So she been calling me she well over 10 years. But she started calling me she in my early 30s. And just was there, just have attempted to be very respectful of me. And me and her have a beautiful relationship. We both, you know, I got my mouth from her and my daddy, so I got both of them mouth, and both of them can get down. Both of them can knock a star out the sky. So just like I have I could lift you up with my voice, and I could tear you down with it too. And I got that honest. I got that from my mama and my daddy. Baby, I could lift you up. I could float you on a cloud somewhere, honey. But then I could turn around and get out of that heaven. And so you have to be responsible with that gift. You have to be responsible with that ability. That type of power is a responsibility when you can lift somebody up and make them feel magical and make them feel beautiful and make them feel powerful and make them feel loved and make them, inspire them and encourage them and empower them. But then when they play in your face, get out of heaven. Pluck your star from the sky and bring it. And so now that I've matured, even when people are hurting me because they're being insensitive or unconscious about what they're saying to me, because people will always try to get down on you and read you, but then when it's time for you to let them know what you saw in the mirror, because you saw all this because I'm a reflection of you. That's the only reason why we in each other's company and we in each other's face, because we feel connected, because we are all mirrors of each other. So, sweetheart, the very reason why I'm sitting before you for you to be able to make all these judgments and pass all these judgments on me is because something about me resonates with you. And so while you were writing your report on me, don't think that I wasn't writing a report on you. So are we exchanging notes now? Are we reading the minutes now? Motherfuckers think they about to read you your book, but you wasn't writing one for them. Bitch, you got me fucked up, man. And that's what people don't like about me. Cause maybe the same way you was getting your notes ready, the same way you were getting your notes ready, boo boo. Oh, bitch. But see, I'm not just gonna let you have it. I'm gonna wait till you think you about to get down on me. We are chameleons, mermaids, dragons, butterflies, wildcats, seahorses, dolphins. Oh, you read it. You read the book. You must have started reading it already. But this is the true tea. Like, people don't understand it. And being all things, and being all things, you have to know how to maneuver in all different kind of spaces, and I think that's what get this. I love, like, right here, if you look at this. So this is my chameleon piece. Wait, where's my chameleon piece at? Yeah, this the chameleon piece. So this piece right here, I love this piece because these are like my hieroglyphs. So this is the cock. So this was before I got my sex change. So this is representative of when I had my cock. Then I became the chameleon. And see how the chameleon is blending in? You couldn't really see the chameleon until I brought you in on it. So the chameleon is able to blend in with society. And it's so much going on. It's so many eyes watching. This the matrix eye. It's another eye right here. It's another eye right there. And all of them is watching the chameleon. So it's a journey of, being pre-op to becoming this entity. And not everybody has to get a sex change to become a chameleon. Let me just be clear and say that. But this was how I, really understood and identified with my chameleon. So I don't think that you have to go through surgery to embrace your chameleon. But for me on my journey, that's how I was able to get to this space of realizing who I was. And that's part of my work. I went through this so other people don't have to. So if you decide to go through with the sex change, this is a platform for you. But also, if you want to learn about a being who is still whole and has the sex change, it doesn't change all of us. We don't all get the surgery and want to just erase the other half of ourselves. Yeah, anatomically I am different, but mentally I am still whole. Spiritually I am still whole. And that was a journey I had to go through. That's what I had to go through. A lot of us say we are whole, but we are not whole. These girls want to claim wholeness just because they kept their dick. But a lot of these girls that still got their dicks, they not whole. A lot of these girls with titties on the top and dick on the bottom are not whole. And you realize it, like, the only time you see them around females is when they getting paid, when it's some money, when it's some type of business. A lot of these people that we see on the internet, they don't like a lot of these trans women that we see that's popular on the internet. They not friends with females in real life. They friends with all gay men, and you get and they run and they claim wholeness because they got dick and titties. Do you realize that it's chubby men who got titties? It's men who identify as a man that got titties. You could be chubby and have titties and a perm. Bitch, you a chubby pimp. Some of these girls is chubby pimps. But I'm not hating on the girls. I just If you gonna claim wholeness, be whole. I do my best to have healthy relationships with beings who have vaginas, that were born with vaginas, beings who were born with penises, beings who fall in the middle. Like I don't really have no friends who intersex, because that's a rare thing. But I wouldn't be fucked up about it. But like I try my best to have healthy relationships, like genuine friendships, genuine love, genuine concern, genuine care. I may not understand everything that a being that was born with a vagina goes through, or how they process things. I may not understand all of it, but I'm not finna call you crazy or make jokes about you, or put you down. I'm not finna talk about how your body work, or talk about how you smell, your scent, none of that. I'm not doing none of that. 3 months. Wholeness feels closer than ever. Oh, wow. Oh, you've been on hormone therapy for 3 months? Come on now. But yeah, it's definitely a journey that looks different for all of us. It's definitely a journey that looks different for all of us. Um, there's no one way to do it, but if you're gonna claim wholeness, a lot of us, we wanna say we whole, but we not maneuvering like we whole. We really on some Butch Queen with a wig on type shit. You know, and that's what I'm working on myself. Is like consistently doing that work, and I think in doing that work, that's why right now, in the past 6 months, I have not taken estrogen or testosterone. I've been giving myself a break, because I'm trying to get myself together mentally, take some downtime, because when I take hormones, specifically testosterone, and I do like to take testosterone, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell that lie and say I ain't gonna never take no testosterone again. I'm just not taking any right now because testosterone gives me sexual urges. I would be laying in the bed playing with my pussy all day long, or trying to run out in these streets and meet a nigga. I'd be the guy cocktailed and then be wanting to have. And so for right now, because I'm not trying to be on that vibe, I'm not finna, sit up here and lie and say I haven't had this coochie stretched at least once a month. We was in Virginia, honey. And girl, it might have been a stretching of swords. It might have been a stretching of swords. Girl, but baby, like I'm like now while I'm out here where I'm, by my family out here, um, I'm not trying to be on that. Like I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the holidays, December and part of January and the rest of this month to just really, really like recenter myself. I shut my Facebook down, so I'm only gonna be posting on Instagram and here. And I'm not gonna be posting here as much because I'm really trying to learn how to use this. Girl, look at my little ramen noodles and chickpeas sitting in front of my little chickpeas. I be using that to make my little chickpea patties. And then I got my little wheat ramen shell. But yeah, I'm trying to learn how to use this, girl. I want to learn how to use this, girl. I'm gonna go there and I'm sitting here. I'm gonna figure it out too. Yeah, she gonna figure it out, and she gonna be in her little art. She gonna be in her little art room, her little creative room, working on her little sewing machine. So she gonna be in a in a little creative art room, listening to her little music, playing her little music, making her little patterns and sewing and things. And y'all know I like to play with some fabric. But yeah, that's the vision. That's the vision. Happy sewing. That's the vision. And and right now I'm spending time with my dad. Um, and then when I get ready to leave from here, I'm going to spend time with my mom. I'm going to go to New Orleans and see my mom, spend a little time with her, and then I got to go on my little journey, get on my, because I try to balance my relationship between my queer family, or my trans family, my chosen family, and my biological family. I make time for my chosen family and my biological family. My chosen family, my biological family, because you want to be the type of person that bring those worlds together. That bridge the gap. We were gifted and blessed to be able to walk between the worlds, so that we could touch lives on multiple planes of existence. And so I'm just happy that I'm able to do that. I'm thankful to be able to do that. I wanted to check in with y'all and do a video really briefly to talk about what's going on. Yes, healthier than most, no shame. Okay. But I wanted to check in with most. I check in with y'all. Look at me talking about with most. I'm still on there calling me. But I wanted to do a little check in, let y'all know what's going on. And I'm going to get ready to end this live. It's been very great sharing with y'all. Make sure that y'all click the like button so that more people can get the message, so that more people can enjoy this vibe, and so that more people can make this connection in healing with your family. And the way to heal with your family is to heal yourself. Find your balance within yourself. Honor the mother and the father within you, and you'll have more capacity and more patience and more understanding for everything that's going on around you. A man, a woman. Okay, so as we blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with an immense intensity on the spiritual plane in the deep. We thank you, God Goddess, for all that you bless us with, all that you continue to do with us and for us. We give thanks to the ancestors who've come, to the ancestors who are here, and to the ancestors who are coming. A man, a woman, Lelem Lela.